One of the key concerns of our times is biodiversity loss. So we hope to provide some interesting starting points for action learning towards more sustainable lifestyles. And the question is, how do the Sustainable Development Goals inform our grasp of biodiversity concerns? Now, the 20th century has been characterized by local extinctions of species and the loss of species richness in key habitats across the globe. Reversing these trends has become more and more difficult, with human population growth increasing the impact, and with the realization that climate change will make resolving biodiversity loss more and more challenging. Different patterns of seasonal rainfall have come with climate change, and increases in temperatures will not allow some indigenous species to survive in habitats that are changing around them. So we've got, in many cases, decreasing species richness, degradation of key habitats, and the loss of genetic diversity. And this is producing future sustainability risk, as well as habitats and genetic diversity declining to find it difficult to resolve these risks. So if we look at the Sustainable Development Goals and biodiversity loss, then climate is linked to life in water and the loss of corals, for instance, and life on land and the loss of genetic and biodiversity in those areas. So local extinctions and loss of diversity are key things that we can investigate in the world around us at a local level. And what we've done is we've chosen specific species that are very common and interesting to explore this topic of biodiversity loss. For instance, the cattle. How were cattle protected from poisonous plants and diseases in earlier times because of their genetic diversity? And what about dogs? Why were these dogs really important, and what roles did they play in village life? Rodents. How were rodents managed to protect food sources? And how are rodents disappearing, like the side-striped field mice? Raptors. How do raptors protect our community health and food supplies? We wouldn't think so at first. And what about pollinators? How has looking after pollinators become a recent concern? So all of these concerns are linked to biodiversity, genetic diversity, and species richness. And they are interesting topics that can be explored in the current curriculum. And they enable us to look at heritage from the past, and therefore to touch the past with our memories and feel the future flying on the wings of imagination.